To all our active and supportive participants around the globe, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to Institute of Global Professional, the leading online skills institute in the world. It is our pleasure to welcome you here in our 780th International Free Webinar Training. Thank you all for finding time and visiting today's webinar, and I hope you will stay with us until the end. My name is Juliet De La Torre from Philippines. We are hoping that everyone is associated already with IGP as the global member. Please continue to attend all of our webinars, check in IGP, and recommend IGP to your friends and community, for I am sure you will learn from the various webinars that we have. At any time, you can like and comment in our webinar, and don't forget to tag, share, and mention your friends and community, because we believe that power is gained by sharing knowledge rather than accumulating it. Before we get started, let us learn more about IGP, since every day we have new viewers in our webinar. Institute of Global Professionals, or IGP, is an educational institution that provides social work. IGP believed that improving skills is not effective just by receiving formal training. That's why we provide effective training and consultation to create talented generations around the world. The IGP is a leading online institution for skills development with thousands of learners around the world. IGP organized the webinar training, offline and online courses by the best and trained speakers, coaches from all over the world to create the best learning platform for all of you. We hope that every webinar will help you grow personally and professionally, and we hope you will accompany us on this long journey. Now, let's start our program with IGP's reminder: feed your skills, innovate, inspire, impact. Today, we are presenting the 780th webinar session entitled Refreshing English Writing Skills with our speaker from the Philippines. Our speaker for today finished his master's degree at Pamantasan na Lungsod ng Marikina. He took up Master of Arts in Education, major in Educational Leadership Management. He also earned some units from his second master's degree at FEU Roosevelt Cainta, Master of Arts in Education, major in English Language and Instruction. He finished his college education at Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Manila, with a degree of Bachelor of Arts in English. And as of today, he is a head working English professor in PUP Santa Mesa and a school principal at Nuestra Senora de Guia Academy of Marikina. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our speaker for today, Mr. Christopher Armand L. Cagia. Let's give them a webinar applause.
All right, so good afternoon, good day to be
Hello, sir.
specific. All right, because we're live, no, all over the world. So I would like to greet everyone a good day. All right, so Mom Juliet, thank you so much for that very generous introduction, and to the organizers of this webinar, the Institute of Global Professionals. Thank you so much for inviting me, and thank you so much for trusting me to be your resource speaker for this day. All right, so I was tasked to give you a webinar regarding business correspondence and report writing. I know that everybody that's listening, all right, on this webinar are already aware on the things that you should be considering while writing a business correspondence. But my task for this afternoon is to remind each and every one of you the things that you should be considering for you to be able to write a business correspondence clearly, no, and of course that can be understood by your recipients. All right, so permission to share my screen, Ma'am Juliet.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let me share my presentation. Is it already visible, Ma'am Juliet?
Not yet, sir. Okay, sir. It's
Is it
already
already
visible.
visible? All
Yes,
right,
sir.
so let's start again by greeting each and everyone a good day. So again, I am Mr. Christopher Armand Alcagia. You can call me Sir Chris, and I'm from the beautiful country of the Philippines. To be exact, I live in the shoe capital of the Philippines, wherein the largest shoe in the world can be seen. So if you will be visiting Philippines, no, please feel free to visit Marikina City if you want to buy quality shoes, all right, that will last for a very long period of time. All right, so to start with, okay, let's define business communication first because this is the prerequisite though before we get to the main topic. All right, so business communication is defined, let's say communication first is defined as the process of sending and receiving messages. All right, however, always remember that communication is effective only when the message is understood and when it stimulates action or encourages the receiver to think in various ways. All right, so technically communication made among persons to convey their personal information or message or even thoughts are personal communication, but the exchange of information, facts, ideas relating to business, so we're going to talk about business, is called as business communication. This one refers to the communication relating to business activities, which means providing goods and services to the consumers with a view to earning profit. All right. So for this afternoon, I'm going to teach you, no, because I know, no, that we are all professionals here. So you cannot deny the fact that you will be writing a business correspondence or you will be doing a business communication. So I will be helping you to be refreshed on the things that you should be considering. All right. So what is the importance of knowing this one, this topic, business communication? Because just like what I've said, we are all professionals, and 90% of all business transactions involve written communication. All right. And for this afternoon, for this day, I'm going to teach you how to write. All right. So internal and external communication. Most of the managers and executive in today's business setting do their own letters. All right. So way back then, managers and supervisors, ask someone to write letters. But today, they are the one who's writing letters. So I am assuming I am assuming that each and everyone who's present in this webinar would be managers someday. Hopefully principals like me, and hopefully even president, right? So you should know how to write your own letter. Of course, in the challenging world of business, a company must always remain competitive. And one way of being competitive is for you to know how to write your own letter correctly, completely, concisely. All right. So I'm going to show you the process, all right, of a business communication. First, we're going to have the sender. So you'll be calling yourself the sender, all right, if you're the one who's going to give the message. So these are the employees, customers, the business persons, government agencies, suppliers, etc. And of course, you're going to do no or you're going to see some show some business information to your receivers, such as business memorandums. All right, so later on I'm going to teach you how to create one. And of course, business letters. All right, so the receiver would be the person who's going to read your business correspondence. All right, and of course, there's going to be a feedback, and there must be a feedback. All right, and that's a cycle. All right, then let me share with you the effective business communication characteristics. First is it must be task oriented. Your business communication must always give or delegate tasks clearly to all the members. All right, and when you do that, it must be precise and clear. Okay, for them to understand clearly their tasks. All right, and your letter must always be practical and persuasive. And of course, if we say practical and persuasive, all you have to do is to put factual information regarding your topic. Okay, for your receivers, for them to be persuaded on the thing that you are telling them. All right. So later on, we're going to discuss these things clearly. So for now, I want you to read this and remember these things. And later, you're going to realize that, oh, while writing this letter, I need to consider all the things that Sir Chris have had told us a while ago. All right. So, what is the role of effective communication in business? Of course, no. If you're going to have an effective business communication, all right. Overall, this will help, no, the company in building strategies and policies to help the company grow even better. All right, because the purpose of business communication is for the institution, the company, all right, that we are working for to succeed. All we want is for this specific company and institution to succeed in any way possible. And the one way of helping them, no, to reach their to reach their goals, all right, is to deliver, all right, every pieces of information of that specific company or institution properly to all the audience, to all the target audience, or to all the target market. All right. Now, all right. So cultural communication. So this is very important, no, for us to consider. Now, before we actually go to the actual topic, which is the internal and external communication. Why? Because just like today, not only Filipinos are watching us, or not only Filipinos are joining this international webinar. And when I say international, no, this can be seen all over the globe. So there are some Americans, Indonesian, no, other nationalities watching this live stream. So technically, we need to consider, no, we need to consider their culture, because if you want to write, no, an effective business communication, you should always remember to be polite. You need to consider other cultures. So in this slide, no, you can see that there are some not so obvious rules. So technically, if you're going to write a business correspondence and your audience come from different culture, of course you need to be neutral. All right, you need to be neutral. Your information, the information that you're writing, must always be in general. Okay, in general, but in a sense that they will all understand the information. So there are plenty of invisible rules of a culture. So technically, before you write something, you need to do your research. You need to do your research. You need to think carefully about other cultures. All right. Now,
Sir Christopher, we can't hear you, sir. Excuse for a while, sir.
can you hear me now?
Yes,
Sorry.
sir. Yes,
All
sir. You
right.
can.
Sorry. Well, we can actually no um we cannot actually deny the fact that there will still be some technical difficulties while we are doing a live webinar. So thank you so much. So going back, all right. So I'll start from the beginning. Ethics, this comes next when we consider culture. All right, because if you want to be respected, you need to be ethical. You need to consider all the universally accepted norms. So when we say you are an ethical person, you are respecting no the norms all over the globe. All right? So always be remembered to be ethical. Be ethical enough when you write business letters, because your audience will be interpreting your letter, and if they will be misinterpreting it because you are not ethical enough, of course the tendency is they will disregard your letter. All right, so always remember to use proper words that demonstrate valid appeals to reason. Always remember not to consider, all right, the people that you are talking to. If you are from the Philippines, we are from Mom Juliet and I are from Philippines, so we know how Filipinos feel when they read this specific word. So if we're going to write a letter addressed to Americans or Indonesians, of course, we need to consider their culture first. We need to know the accepted norms in their country before we initiate in writing a letter. All right? Next, let me just share this with you first before we proceed to the next topic, which is the seven C's. Your ability to communicate with others will account for fully 85% of your success in your business and in your life. So, this is the reason why the Institute of Global Professionals conducted this webinar. So, again, personally, I would like to thank IGP for giving me a chance to share my abilities to all the professionals all over the globe. All right, now let's proceed with the seven C's of communication for writing, because I don't want you to engage in writing before I don't want you to engage in writing, okay, without knowing or without being refreshed on the things that you should be considering. All right. So now I'm going to discuss the seven C's of communication. So the seven C's of communication provides you a checklist for making sure that you're meeting your emails, your conference calls, reports, and presentations are well constructed. All right. So we will be discussing all the seven C's. All right. So one by one, you will be knowing these seven C's. So the first C would be clear. All right. So when you say clear, you compose your messages that are easy to understand. So this is what I'm telling you a while ago. No? You need to know, you need to know every pieces of information first before you write a business correspondence. Now,
For you to become clear, no, be clear about your goal. All right? What is the goal? What's your goal on writing this letter? If you want to if you want the receivers to buy this specific thing, be clear with your goal that you are selling this kind of thing. All right? So, what's your purpose? What's the reason behind you writing this letter? All right? If you are not sure with your purpose, of course, you yourself as the sender are not is not sure. Of course, your receivers will not be sure on what they are reading. For you to be clear, try to minimize the number of ideas in each sentences. All right? So just like in the usual writing of a paragraph, you need to have one thesis statement only. And then if ever that you're going to have your examples, no, you need to have a specific topic sentence for each paragraph. So be clear on your statements. For example, all right? So I'm going to use this as an example. Instead of saying, we have considered the consequences of the existing policy on the hiring strategies we employ with our human resource department and update them accordingly. Isn't it long, right? So even though it's just a one sentence statement, it's long, and we can reduce it. We can be clear. No, we can be clear enough by just saying we have updated our hiring policy. Isn't it better? Right? It's not every time, no, that you say the longer the better. No, it's not. No, it's the clarity. All right? It's the clarity of your statements. All right? So next, concise. So when you say concise, this state what needs to be said in as few words as possible. All right? When you're concise in your communication, you should stick with the point, right? You should always stick to whatever point that you are saying. Just like this, no? My topic is 7C. So I'm going to stick with the 7Cs. I'm not going to discuss 8, I'm not going to discuss 9, 7Cs only, because I would like to be concise on whatever thing that I've told you a while ago. All right? So, are there any adjectives, filler words that you can delete? Remove them. All right? You can often eliminate words for an instance. You see, definitely, kind of, literally, basically, I mean. So if you are writing a business correspondence, you need to be concise. For example, as a matter of fact, during the month of June, all employees must ensure that they wear appropriate clothing to ensure that they stay cool while the air conditioning is being repaired. Be concise. Change it to, indeed, during June, employees must wear appropriate clothing to stay cool while the air conditioning is repaired. All right? So, be concise in any way possible. All right? So just be you just stick to the point and keep your sentence brief. Concrete. Most of your message is concrete when your audience has clear picture of what you are telling them. You should convey a message in precise terms. All right? Ensure that your message has important details and facts, but nothing deters the focus of your message. Even though you are giving some supporting details, make sure that nothing deters the focus of your message. Okay? Because your audience might be, what am I reading? No? What's the message that I want that you want me to know? So be concrete. For example, An example would be poor communication of underperformance during one to one. You might say your sales numbers are on the low side. They need to be improved at least team's average. If you are going to tell someone your sales number are low or your sales number are on the low side, how low? Because we do believe that if it's lower than 75, it's already low, right? But for you to be concrete enough, you should give how low it is. So look at this sentence. Your sales conversion rate is below 50, right? So it's more concrete than just simply saying your numbers are low. Next, you must improve this to the team average of 65 or higher, right? So technically, your sentence is concrete enough that your readers will be understanding the main purpose of your statement. All right? Next, correct. Make sure that you provide accurate details. All right? In a very acceptable format. When your communication is correct, always remember that it fits your audience. Correct communication is also error-free. For example, just like the picture that I've flashed on your screen, correct punctuation is very, very important in business correspondence. You don't want to eat your dad, right? So technically, if you're not going to use the so-called punctuation, comma, you will sound like you're going to eat your dad. You're going to cook your dad and then eat your dad. So if you're going to put a comma or correct punctuation, you are asking your dad to eat with you. Let's eat dad versus let's eat dad. Got it? Next, you may enter the building during opening hours but show relevant ID. Again, why is it not correct, sir? Because what is the relevant ID that you are telling? Your ID might not be a relevant ID to me, right? In every specific building, in every specific country, you have your own relevant ID. Now, if I find your ID not relevant, I will not allow you to enter the building, right? So you need to be sure, you need to be correct on your statement. What relevant ID? So let's replace it with you may enter the building during the opening hours of 9 to 5 p.m., right? So a while ago you just told me that you may enter the building during opening hours. What is your opening hours, right? So 9 to 5 to be correct. And also, employee identity card is the relevant ID that they are talking. So you need to be correct all the time for the avoidance of miscommunication. Next, consideration. You should always consider your audience, and that's the reason why I've told you a while ago that you need to consider the culture in communication, and of course you need to consider being ethical. You should always put yourself in one shoe. All right, you always remember that what you are going to do to others might be done to you. All right, so technically, before writing your letter, your business correspondence, if you want to read, okay, you put yourselves in their shoe. If you want to understand clearly what they are telling, do it. Okay, do the same. You write clearly. You consider, no, you consider consideration. You consider the person that's going to read your message. For example, we are unable to pay your bonuses. The business is awaiting payment from a major client. Once this payment is received, we consider paying contractual bonuses as soon as it's practicable. Well, short, right? But then again, it's not the best way to deliver this message. You should consider, okay, the feeling, no, of your audience. So you should replace it with, unfortunately, we are not presently in the in the position rather to pay your bonus. However, as soon as our major client has settled their account, we will pay and any bonuses owed to you. We're sorry about this delay, assure you, but we assure you, sorry, delay, but are sure you understand our need for positive cash flow and the long-term benefits this will deliver to you. So technically, if you want to deliver a sad news, right? This is a sad news that you cannot pay your employees. So technically, you should say sorry to them, make them understand the situation. You explain clearly what happened. You explain to them that, oh, our client did not pay us. So technically, as they pay, we will be giving you what you deserve. So imagine if your boss, the owner of the company, will just tell you, oh, you will not receive your allowance. That's it. So you need to be considerate enough that, oh, you're the boss, and then you're going to tell your employees that they will not be receiving their salaries for now. So unfortunately, we are facing bankruptcy. So technically, we are just waiting for the money coming from the major client. So as soon as I receive the money, I'm going to pay all the debts that I have. No, that's good enough, all right, even though it is a sad news. Tendencies would be they will be understanding you because you become so considerate on their situation. Next, complete. Again, no, just like what I've told you a while ago, no, if you want to be considerate, you need to be complete with the information. So in a complete message, no, it includes all the pertinent information needed. The audience has everything they need to be informed. Of course, the reason why the audience are reading, no, these texts is for them to be informed, and how they can be possibly informed if your message is not complete. Does your message include a call to action? Have you included all the relevant information? For example, you submitted your application letter to my office. Then you don't have your contact number there. How can I possibly reach you? Right? Even though your resume is very impressive, but if your information is not complete, for example, you don't have your bachelor's degree with you, so why would I hire you? So that's the prerequisite, no, so of being hired. Of course, your information must be complete for me to evaluate you, no, completely. All right, for example, you haven't completed the task that I set you. If your boss will tell you that you haven't completed the task that I had set you, well, ma'am, what's that task? Your sentence is not complete. So technically, I will be thinking, what task is that? Then I remembered some task. I completed it. And then upon me giving the task to you, you will be telling me, oh, that's not the task that I am asking you. Because you did not tell me exactly what task you are telling me. Your sentence is not complete. So instead, tell me, the data analysis for client ABC that I asked for on March 5 should have been completed by today. Will you have it finished this afternoon? So, your boss is telling you to complete the data analysis for client ABC that she had given you last March 5. So technically, I've been waiting for that report, no, for how many months. So can you please give it to me this afternoon? Well, that's complete. All right. Next, courteous. One of the most, of course, all of the seven C's are important, but for me, being courteous is the most important thing that you should be considering while writing, right? Because when you are showing your courteousness, you show concern for the intended receiver. It's not like you will just write a letter because you are ought to write. But of course, you should always show courteousness to each and every person that you're writing to. Courteous communication is a friendly, open, and honest. There are no hidden insults or passive aggressive tones. You keep your reader's viewpoint in mind, and you're empathetic to their needs. For example, I don't appreciate how your team ignores requests for collaboration from my team. The work we do is equally as important as your work. Could you make certain that your team collaborates more readily from now on? Right? It is very aggressive. No, that statement is very aggressive. If you are the one who's going to read that, how would you feel? Will you help them? No, openly? No, will you help them with open arms? Of course, I will not, because your tone is very aggressive. So if you're going to tell me, if you're going to rephrase that statement with this, I understand that your team is extremely busy and receives many requests to collaborate on the project work. However, my team is working on a highly urgent project with enormous mutual benefits. I would greatly appreciate if you could ask your team to collaborate more effectively with mine to move this project forward faster. Is there any help we can provide to make this happen? Please let me know. If you're going to give me that kind of statement, I will be more than willing to help you in any way possible, because your tone is not aggressive. It seems to me that you are understanding both sides. It seems to me that you are understanding my situation. It seems to me that you are good enough to understand that both teams do have some things to do, but we need to collaborate more often to finish this specific tasks. All right? So that's 7 C's. All right? So you should always remember, no, 7 C's, because writing is not that easy. All right? Some people think that the writing is easy because all you have to do is to hold your pen and paper. No. No, you need to think carefully before you write. We have some statement way back then, no, because of the pandemic, no, think before you click, no, in social media. In writing, you should always think before you write. All right? And with this 7 C's of communication, this will serve as your checklist if you have considered everything before you start writing. All right? So, if you have any questions and concerns, we'll be having an open forum later, if I'm not mistaken. So kindly chat down your questions, then I'll be more than happy to answer those. All right. So let's proceed with the internal communication. Just wait for a while. All right. So let's proceed with the internal communication. All right, so let's define internal communication first. When we say internal communication, this is the transmission of information within an organization. So when I say within, just inside the organization. Internal communication is the lifeline of a business. So why? So later you'll be knowing why. It is a communication, no, among employees. Internal communication is the sharing of the information, knowledge, ideas, and beliefs between the members of the company. It is also written, no? Informal, but also in informal way. Sir, business communication and it is informal. Yes, there might be some times that you can write no informally if no you are on the same level. But if you are going to write a communication no to your immediate supervisor, it must always be formal. All right, so we use informal or not so informal language with our colleagues. All right, so next, effective internal communication. Of course, how can we achieve this? So you need to consider the following: the open and clear reason for communication. You need to understand the need of the audience. Again, considering the ethics, considering the culture. Okay, consistent and regular communication, and that's one of the reasons why we are writing internal communication, because we want to have consistent communication within the organization. All right, internal communication must be jargon free, to the point, in the brief language. When we say jargon, you should avoid using specific words used by specific group of people. Again, just like what I've told you a while ago, always remember that you are writing for general purpose, general audience. So you should not be using jargons. All right? Two-way communication. All right? There must be a sender, and then the receiver must have a feedback. So you need to have a clear use of words, the 7 C's to be exact. Good use of vocabulary. So just like what I've told you a while ago, in consideration, no, be considerate. You don't use words that will hurt other feelings, no, others feelings. So you don't need to be disrespectful for you to be heard. No. All right. Always remember that business correspondence is not creative writing wherein you're going to use words, extraordinary words, no, to satisfy your own needs. No, in writing business correspondence, you are writing to satisfy the needs of your audience, no, not for your own satisfaction. That after you writing this letter, oh, I'm such a great writer. No, this is not creative writing, and that's the reason why I told you that you should not be using jargon. Of course, you should not be you should always be considerate on the words that you're going to use. All right. Now, what's the importance of having internal communication? I'm going to discuss it further. It increases productivity. Why? Because if your immediate supervisor will be releasing an internal communication, and the tasks were specifically given to individuals, of course, everybody will be guided accordingly. What else? If an internal communication, no, extending congratulations to all the team for doing a job well done was released, of course, it will increase our morale in performing, right? It effective and responsive customer service, easy attainment of goals, reduce day-to-day conflict between team and members. So why is that, sir? Because if you're going to write internal communication, this will avoid confusion among the members, because this will be their guide. Technically, this will be their manual. For example, I'm going to write a internal communication stating that Miss Santos will be the one to close the building for this for this day. So technically, Miss Santos will be assigned to close the building. So it is not Mr. Santos who will close the building. So if I'm going to release an internal communication giving the schedule, you will not close the building if you are not the one who were tasked to do so. So there will be no conflict, no, within the members of the group. Enable fast response, enable fast decision making. It helps in motivating the employees. All right. So now, what are the common internal communication? We have different types of internal communication. We have group meetings, company blogs, employee training within the organization, personal meetings, telephonic conversation. So we're in non technically somehow informal communication, internal communication will take place. Inquiry email within the organization. Later on, I'm going to give you the email etiquettes that you should be considering, right? Staff communication, company newsletter. But for today, for this afternoon, what I'm going to teach you is how to create memorandum. All right, so this is a Venn diagram, no, distinguishing the difference between internal communication and external communication, which will be discussed later on. All right, so for now, I'm going to discuss internal communication. All right. So before giving you no the meaning of memorandum, so these are the types of internal communication. First, we have the management. Okay, the management who dispense information such as strategies, company results, internal and external information, and other important general information. Next. Okay, so sorry. When we say management, that's from the top. All right, and then up to the rank and file employees. All right, so team between colleagues who work together to achieve the same goal. So within the department. All right, face to face briefing individuals on task and situation. Peer informal chats. This is what I've told you a while ago. There is an informal internal communication. So one of the examples of this is peer, and then resources. All right. Now, let's discuss internal communication memo. So, what comes to your mind when you hear the word memo? Oh my God, most of you, okay, will think that, oh my God, I'm in doomed. I'm so doomed. Because usually no when we hear the word memo, it is a sort of letter reprimanding you for doing something wrong. All right, so let me correct that information. It's not every time that you hear the word memo you will be reprimanded, you're doomed. No, actually, if you're even me, no, during my first year of teaching, no, when I've heard that, okay, okay, our dean will be releasing a memorandum later on. Oh my God, why is he going to release a memorandum? Is there anything wrong? Okay, what have did we do something wrong? No, it's not like that. When you say memo, this is just a short of memorandum, office memorandum, which literally means to assist the memory. So office memo, okay, literally means to assist the memory. So this is just a piece of paper giving you reminders of the things that you should be considering. So technically, sir, not all the memorandums no are negative. Yes, but there are some memorandums no. But this is just the some of the uses of writing memorandum. But the I'm going to teach you how to write one, no, because the format of a memo is standard. All right, so there are some memorandums for announcements. There are some memorandums for, of course, punishments, no, a warning. All right, notices. What else? Information dissemination. All right. So what are the parts of a memorandum? All right. So, sir, why is it that you're going to discuss memo for internal communication? Because memorandum is the most common form of business communication, internal communication to be exact. While there are many types of business letter formats, later I'm going to discuss that also, the format of a memo is entirely a different animal because the format of memo is simpler and easy to remember. Okay? So what is memo written for? Just like what I've told you a while ago. While the format of a memo should generally stay the same, the tone and content can change depending on the audience. Again, if the audience is an employee who disobeyed company rules and regulations, of course, I'm going to create a memorandum stating his warning, no warning on not following instructions. Okay, so again, there is a memorandum for picnic, for team building. Of course, that's the memo that I would like to receive. All right, there's going to be a memo from the management stating that there would be a company team building next week. Okay, August 30, 2022. Well, it means that we need to have fun. We're going to have fun. So technically, the mood of the memorandum is different from the tone of the memorandum giving a warning to a specific employee. Now, these are the parts of a memorandum. First, we have the heading. All right. Traditionally, you would print out a memo and distribute it to relevant parties. All right? So, the first part, the heading of a memorandum, okay? What are the parts of the heading? Or, yes, how can you possibly create a heading of a memorandum? You should remember this. Date. Date. When you say date, this is the time wherein the memo was written. If the memo was written today, August 27 in the Philippines, August 27, 2022, I've written the memorandum today, and I'm going to distribute the memorandum tomorrow afternoon. So tomorrow afternoon would be August 28th, right? So you would not be changing the date because some of my students ask me, sir, would we change the date of the memorandum because it is outdated? No, memorandums are not will never be outdated unless otherwise there is another memo revoking the previous memo. Okay, date, when the memo was written. Two, the two line, okay, means this memo is written to, okay, specific group of people who needs to read the memo. Sir, why is it that there is a two line in a memo? Because not all the memos, no, not all memorandums are general. Memorandums, to be exact, were written, no, to disseminate information to specific departments. For example, this memorandum is only for liberal arts division faculty. So, if you are from science department, science division, you are a science faculty member, this memo is not for you. If you are a math major, this memorandum is not for you. From who, okay, who gave this memorandum, okay, who okay, initiated this memorandum, who wrote this memorandum. Okay, date, to, from. Then the last one is the subject. All right, what is the subject of the memorandum? You should always put subject. Why? Because memorandums must be specific. Okay, so let's read the opening. Now that you know the heading, opening. As you know, the current office bookshelves do not accommodate textbooks of standard height. To correct this problem, all faculty offices will be furnished with new shelves on March 23rd, 2017 between 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Look at this. The date of this memorandum dated March 18, 2014. Then the action will be made on March 23rd of 2017. So that's the difference, no? You don't put the March 23 on the top of the on the date line, because the date, no, will the date that you'll be putting there is the date when, no, the memo was written. Okay? And then you will be putting the information about the memorandum on the body, on the opening. Then summary. What would be the summary? We apologize for any noise or disruption this installation will cause. Then the discussion, if if the two, the liberal arts division faculty would like to follow up, would like to ask questions, you leave your numbers. You leave your contact details, to be exact. And the conclusion, thank you for your compliance. All right, so that's the part of a memorandum. We have the heading, the opening, the summary, the discussion, the conclusion. Sir, we are missing something. Where is the signature of the person who have written the memo? And this is what I've told you a while ago, that memorandum is completely a different animal, because you don't need to have someone sign your memorandum, because memorandums were made, no, to deliver easier and faster transaction. Technically, as long as the person, no, let's say the department that you are working, that your immediate supervisor is aware that you're going to release this statement, then that's a go already. Okay, so you don't need it to be signed. But if the person responsible for the memo is already available to sign it, then go. But if not, if they are not available, they are on out of town, you can disseminate the memorandum without their signature. And that's the difference, no, of memorandum in business letters, no, business in external communications. All right. Let's create an impromptu memorandum, no, for opening of classes. Date August 27, 2022. 2. To all senior high school students. All right? So when you say senior high school students, junior high school students, elementary, primary, and secondary primary students are not included. Only the senior high school students from of office of the principal. Or to be exact, if possible, you write the name of the principal. Let's say Christopher Armand Alcagia. Subject: opening of school year 2022-2023. Opening: as we open the school year 2022-2023, we are glad to announce that the first day of this school year would be on August 30, 2022. Okay? That's the opening. Then, please see your respective schedules on the Google Drive. No? Google Drive linked attached below. You can see your respective sections together with your respective advisors. Your schedule will depend on the schedule that you have chosen during the enrollment period. Should you have any questions and concerns, please don't hesitate to contact the principal's office at blah blah 095662899613. Thank you for please be guided accordingly. That's it. That's how short memorandums are. Well, it is short, but all the necessary information needed by the receivers must be included. All right? So, that's internal communication, that's memorandum. Let's now move to external communication. External communication, okay, is defined as the transmission of information between two organizations. It also occurs between a business and another person in the exterior of the company. Unlike the internal communication, external communication, external messages, no, external business communications were made to give information outside the company. So all the memorandums must stay inside the company. All memorandums must stay within the organization. On the other hand, on contrary, external communication must be sent outside the organization. To have an effective external communication, remember the following, no? Just like what I've given you a while ago in external, there's no big difference. Again, the main difference of this two is internal, in, within, external, outside. These are the popular letter styles. So we have the full block letter style, which is the recommended. No, I'll be recommending full block writing, no, because there's no indentation that we need to consider, and it is accepted. No, this one is accepted form form of letter. No, so return address, we don't usually include this because if you're going to use email, there's already a return address. So you can skip this. You can start with the date line. Okay, so date line, again, just like in memorandum, date line refers to the date where the message, when, sorry, the message was written. When the, okay, the message was written. The letter, the inside address. Okay? So inside address, so later I'll be discussing all the parts, all right? But in general, we have the date, letter the inside address, the salutation, the body, the complementary clause, and then the enclosure notation if needed. Semi-block, okay? So this is the example of semi-block. So I've just given you the form, no, two forms, but then again, full block is what I recommend you to use. So these are the kinds of external communication letters. So we have informal letters. Okay, the informal letters would be the personal letters sent to your respective relatives and friends. So if you are just writing a letter for your friends, that's personal letters and it's informal. But if you're going to write business letters, so official letters, complaint letters, requests, and inquiry letter, those are formal letters. And for today, I'm going to teach you know how to write no a business letter. So I'm going to discuss to you, or I'm going to refresh your minds, your brilliant minds, with the parts of a letter. All right. So first, okay, let's say that you are going to write. Technically, application letter is an example of external communication of a business letter. Okay, business correspondence, because this is where in this is the first step of you no applying your knowledge and skills in business communication or business correspondence, because before you can be formally part no of the organization, you must apply. So technically, for you to be hired, you need to write an application letter. Okay, so date, the date is put at the top of the page no of any business communication, upper left side of the paper. The date is critical piece of information documenting when the correspondence was sent. So always remember to put the date, no, because this is the fastest way to track no, the time, or sorry, the date, no, of the existence of this business correspondence. Address. So this is what I've told you, the inside address. So in a formal letter, so formal business correspondence or external communication, so you need to be aware on the address. Again, okay, I've told you to be courteous. I've told you to respect, no? Be respectful. And one form of showing respect to the receiver is for you to know their details. Just like what's happening on my case, I do have plenty of students, and not all my students know my whole name. So I am not accepting, I will never accept letters addressed to me, no, that is not complete. Seven C's, right? Complete. Some of my students are addressing me Mr. Christopher Kagia. That's not me. Some of my students are addressing me Mr. Christopher Armand. That's not me. Some of my students are addressing me Mr. Christopher L. Kagia. That's not me. My name is Mr. Christopher Armand L. Kagia. One way of showing respect, of showing courteousness, is to know the details of the person that you are writing to. And that will be placed on the address, inside address. So these are the things that you should be considering. First, the complete name of the recipient. Complete name. Second line, the position. First line, name of the recipient. Second line, the position. Third line, what company. Fourth line, the address. The complete address, the number of the a company or institution, the house number, the street, no, and then the yes, the street, and then the last line would be the barangay or the specific place, then the city, and then the zip code. So you are wondering, why do we need to put the zip code? It is because there are plenty of places that do have the same name. For example, San Andreas. So there are plenty of San Andreas. So if you're going to put the zip code, so let's say 1601, that's the zip code. So they will know that, oh, that San Andreas is the San Andreas that we know. Okay? So again, full name, position, company where we're in that specific person is working, the address, the block number, the house number, the street, the last line, the barangay or the specific city, and then the zip code. All right? Salutation. Salutation is the formal way of addressing the person. For example, no, you are going to let's say the address, the inside address would be Mr. Christopher Armand L. Kagia. So my salutation would be, Dear Mr. Kagia, always remember to use surname, because surnames, no, are the formal way of addressing the person that you are talking to. That's the formal way. You don't use first name. We don't use first name basis on salutation. Dear Mr. Kagia, dear Miss Santos. All right? So just please excuse me for a while. All right. So going back, all right, you don't address no individuals using their first name. So you call them Mr. Kagia, Mr. Santos, Miss Santos. And if, of course, the person that you're talking to is a doctor, you use Dr. Kagia, Dr. Santos. Attorney, Attorney Santos. All right? Next, the introduction. After the date, address, the salutation, let's now go to the introduction or the paragraph, no? The first paragraph. First few sentences of a letter are introductory. The introduction section introduces the subject of the letter. So, you need to be clear. 7 C's. Again, 7 C's. You need to be clear. You need to be concise on the topic that you want to say on your letter. Let's say if this is an application letter, no, introduce your letter clearly. My name is Mr. Christopher Armand L. Caguia, humbly writing this application letter to your office to formally apply for a teaching position in your prestigious institution. You need to be clear, you need to be concise on the purpose of your letter. All right, so that's the introduction. Always remember 7 C's in writing your letter. Body of the letter. After you introduce, you do the body of the letter. If this is about application letter, you give all the necessary details about you that the reader must consider, must think needed in their company. So, the body of the letter is where the bulk of information is shared. The body of the letter explains in details all aspects of what is being communicated. So, yeah. So, just include all the necessary information about yourself for the reader know that you are qualified in the position that you're applying to. Closing. This is one of the most of course all of the parts are important, but then again, just like what I've told you a while ago, always put your contact details. On the closing part, this is where you will leave your contact details. For example, I am hoping for your positive response regarding this application. Please, should you have any questions and concerns, and should you have a schedule of my interview at your most convenient time, please don't hesitate to contact me at christopher.kagi@gmail.com. Okay, so that's where they will give their feedback on your application. So closing is of course indeed important because this is where you will leave your contact information. And lastly, we have the signature line. Unlike the memorandum that can be sent without any signatures, external communications must always have signature. Why? This will make the document valid. Even though how good your application is, if you don't have your signature with it, it's not valid for me. I will not accept your application. Always remember to put your signature. All right? Again, these are the 7 parts of external communication of a letter: business correspondence, date, address, salutation, introduction, body of the letter, closing, and the signature. Now, focus 2. Contents of your external communication letter. Address any negatives in a positive fashion. Don't discuss negative things on your external communications and even in your memorandum. Okay? Don't blame others, no, in the accomplishment report. If you're going to give a report about your success, you tell, no, you tell on your letters who are this person behind your success. Don't tell the person who are hindering your success. Don't put any negatives on your letters. All right? So don't you ever think of putting negative things on your letters. Numerics and metrics. Okay, use this. If you are going to give no details about outstanding performance of your company, or let's say that our institution is the top one, no, in licensure examinations. Of course, I need to show you some data. And if we are talking about data, you use tables, you use charts, you use pie graph. This is not it is advisable in external communication to use these things, because you cannot say that you are outstanding without, no, you cannot say that you are outstanding without any data, without any supporting details that you are outstanding. Okay, next. So tell the truth in all cases, don't lie. That's one of the mortal sins. Don't be a liar. No? Do not exaggerate. Again, this is not a creative writing. That's different. If you want to, I can teach you how to do a creative work. But for this afternoon, no, for this afternoon, what I'm teaching you is business correspondence, and you do not exaggerate business correspondence. Do not lie. If you are caught doing it, you could get in big trouble. Rather, no, be honest. Always be honest. That's it. Recognize others. You don't grab all the credit. No. That's now how it works. You are not the only person who have made things possible. No man is an island, right? Always recognize others. We. Always use the word we. Because if you use the pronoun I, it seems like that, are you the only one who did this? No. Even though you are the only one who completed this one, you recognize your team, you recognize your company, because if not for the company, if not for the company that you are working for, you are not even um qualified to do the communication in the first place. So technically, acknowledge your company. Acknowledge the company that you are working for. Acknowledge your team. Okay? So, these are the do's and don'ts of letter writing. So first, okay, do use a reader-centered tone. Okay? Do use a business-like conversational tone. um Always remember, no, that this letter is for your reader. Okay, so you need to make sure that your letters are reader centered. Okay, don't be too familiar with your audience. All right, remember to keep some distance. You should know your places. Even though we're close, no? Even though we grew up together, okay? You don't be too close. Even if my boss, even if my immediate supervisor is my childhood friend, I will always give the respect that he deserves as my immediate supervisor. I cannot just call him by his first name, Mike, come here. No. Okay, you use his surname, Mr. Santos, if I may ask you to come here to see my report. All right? Don't use humor unless you know exactly what you are doing. No. This is a big no-no in business correspondence. Humor is not accepted because this is a formal letter. This is a formal writing. Again, use it in a creative writing session. Okay? Do not preach. Okay? If you have to tell your audience obvious info, do not put in the middle of a paragraph and watch how you word the message. You don't preach, no? You don't preach in your business correspondence, no? You are giving away information, but not in a way that you are preaching. Do not brag. Unless this is a, of course, in application letter, we are not bragging. No, bragging is different from giving exact details. Now, when is the time that you are bragging? If you are giving away information that are not true, if you are giving away exaggerated information, that is bragging. For example, I can carry as much as 10 kilos of rice. I can lift, no? I can lift as I can lift 10 sacks of rice. That's exaggerated, right? So that's bragging, no? That these are the things that you know that you can do, but you over exaggerated. Okay? Now, we are nearing, no, the end of my presentation. So technically I've already given you the internal communication, and then we have the external communication. Again, internal, inside, okay, the company, no, within the organization. Memorandum, okay, literally means, no, a refresher for your mind, no. External communication given, no, outside the organization. Okay, I've already discussed the 7 parts of a business letter or a letter, so you should consider that. Now, because we are in the new normal, no, technically, no, using emails, no, will not be removed from our system. So I'm going to give you some guide, no, for you to be ethical when it comes to doing an email. So, what do we mean by email first? This is a short term for electronic mail. All right? So this is where this is the replacement of the so-called snail mail, wherein we use the envelope, right? And then we write our letters, then we put it inside the envelope. We go to the post office, then the post office will be delivering it to your receivers. Email, electronic. All you have to do is to have google.com, no, and then you have your own Gmail accounts, or any accounts, Yahoo, no, Microsoft accounts. Then all you have to do is to know the email address of the person that you would like to talk to. Then for an within how many seconds only, they will be receiving your message. So these are my friendly reminders. It took a while, but you can deal. Instead of saying sorry for the delay of your email, there are some times that you'll be reading the email of someone, no, delayed, because you've been receiving how many emails in one day? Thousands, right? So technically, there would be some tendencies that you will be overseeing some emails. So if you would reply, you don't say sorry for the delay. You use a positive one. Thanks for your patience. Thank you for waiting. All right? That's how you do it. Next, my schedule matters too. You don't ask someone, okay, if you are really looking for information, if you are really, no, sending an urgent, no, matter to someone, you don't wait for their time. You give them the exact time, no, the exact time of the exact time when you need the information. For example, could you please send the report later this afternoon at not later than 5 p.m. Okay, so you give them a time frame so that they could prepare. All right, yeah, you're welcome. If someone give expresses their thanks to you, because you did something, no, for them, you don't simply say, yeah, no worries, no. You don't say no problem, no. Always be positive, no. Always show that you are really more than willing to help them. Always happy to help you. Okay, I am more than willing to extend my help, no, for you. I know what I'm doing. No, you don't need to be bossy. Email like a boss, but you don't need to be bossy. That I think maybe we should do this. No, always remember that you are talking to your friends. Technically, you are writing this letter. You are trying to create this email for you to have a harmonious relationship within your sector. So technically, okay, you should know your place. So calm down, no? Even if the situation is not in your in favorable it's not in your favor, no, technically you slow down, no. I think it would be best if we will, no, you try to replace, no, you don't need to be aggressive, no, on your emails. Wording this is hard, no. Rewriting this email for 40 minutes. So technically, if you don't want to communicate via email, you tell them directly that, dear Mr. Santos, this since this topic is very crucial, it would be easier to discuss this in person. Okay, and then you use the first the second one. Could you please schedule me for a meeting tomorrow at exactly 9 o'clock in the morning? All right, that's even better, right? Do you get it? You don't ask the person that you are writing to that, oh, have you get it? Okay, did you get no what I'm trying to say? You don't tell that to them. So instead, let me know if you have some questions. I will be more than willing to answer. Where the heck are we on this? Okay? If you would like to check on the updates, you do it professionally. When I can expect an update about the report that I am asking you? All right? I made a small error. You don't say sorry, no? Even though, all right, the word is, you don't say sorry, but you should make them feel, no, that you are sorry, no, on committing that mistake. You don't simply say, oh, sorry about that. Now, how can you do that? If you did something wrong, you correct it instantly, and that's how you say sorry. For example, they said that, oh, the attached file that you have, the attached file is not the file that I am asking for. So, hey, nice catch. Thank you so much. I will be sending you the correct file once I went home. Once when I got home. Thank you. Okay? I have an appointment. All right? If you will be rescheduling, no, the appointment that you previously committed, no, you be polite, no, to say, I will need to leave, no, for an emergency, because I'm going to fetch my mom from the hospital at exactly 4 o'clock. Permission to leave. Okay, so something like that. So these are the common mistakes that that we, no, are committing, no, on our emails. Now, the very reason why I've given this to you is for you to have a harmonious relationship, no, even via email, no, among the persons, no, that you are, no, communicating. So rules for email etiquette. So these are some rules that you should be considering. Use a clear professional subject line. We have a subject line in our email. If your subject is about report, no, you be clear, year end report for 2021. Proofread every email that you send. I know that we are not perfect, no, when it comes to grammar, but give it a try, no. Even English majors, no, commit mistakes, but no, but you need to be careful, no. So how can we possibly be sure, no, on the things that we are writing? You read them. You read your whole letter before sending it. You can read it once, twice, and even thrice, no, for you to look for some possible errors, no. And that's how you can see, no, the things that you should be correcting. write your email before entering the recipient of the address, because there might be some times that you have written the email address of the recipient, then accidentally you will click enter accidentally. So a blank message will be sent to the recipient. So write the content first, okay? Double check you have the correct recipient, no, because you don't want to send your report, no, to different department, right? Ensure you CC all the relevant recipients. If you want to inform specific individuals, you make sure that you have entered the correct recipients. You carbon copy, no? You don't always have to reply all. If the email, no, was sent off to several recipients, no, several individuals, and you think that you don't need to inform them about your reply, you don't have to reply all. Reply to your emails. Always reply to emails, no? Always reply to emails. Just simply reply, this is noted. Okay? And that will not take much of your time. So this is for you, for them to know that you acknowledge the email. Use appropriate level of formality and keep emails brief and to the point. Okay? You don't want to bore the readers on reading a very lengthy email. Okay? So, to end, okay, I would like to say that communication is what makes a team strong. And that's the very reason why I have chosen to discuss internal communication and external communication, because these two communications will make a strong tie, no? Internal communication within the organization. If we know how to write correctly an internal communication, there would, I assure you, there would be a harmonious relationship, no, within your department, within the organization. And external communication, of course, you will have a good communication, good strong ties to all the companies, no, related to your institution, to the company where you are working. And of course, no, knowing the 7 parts of the business letter, no, if you don't have your job today, you just follow, no, every thing that I've told you, the 7 C's, the parts of a business letter. Then you create your application letter, and tomorrow you will be hired. So with that, I would like to say thank you. And should you have any questions, no, and concerns, I will be more than happy to answer it. Once again, from the Philippines, I would like to say thank you so much for listening. I am Mr. Christopher Armand Alcagia. Again, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sir Christopher Armand El Cagia, for enlightening us with your pearls of wisdom and for sharing us your valuable time. For sure, our participants have many takeaways from this session. Hence, your presentation is very informative and well explained. So, for sure, again, our participants are very lucky to have you here in this session. So, at this point, ladies and gentlemen, let's watch for a short video for the quiz competition. My dear participants, you can join now with our quiz competition. Just log into slido.com and the code is all capital letter IGP quiz. Okay, so the link is available in our comment box. You can just click the link and you will be redirected to the slido.com to join this competition. So we have here the participants: Enelita Kitor Villanueva, Leia Facunla. We also have Nancy Barotil, Gemma Benilada. We have JB Aparicio. We also have Jimuel C. Sagario. We also have Ricky R. Colima, Rosie T. Yosores, Veneranda A. Jordan, Rogeline J. Jairil, Sherry Ann M. Gabriel. Again, you can join our quiz competition now. Just click the link in the comment section, or you can log into slido.com and the code is given: IGP quiz in all capital letter. Again, the link is in the comment box and the code is in all capital letter IGP. So we already have many participants for today's quiz competition. So we have Alan H. Brutus, Leia Facunla, Cherry Ann M. Gabriel, Nancy Barotil, Rosie T. Yosores, J.B. Aprecio. We have Jenaline Villar Resurrection. We have Kyangwe Isaiah Get Wikeri, 8. We have Kefer Rivera, Rogeline Jeriel, Grace Okay, let's have it, ladies and gentlemen. The first question: what is the word comer in English? Is it to eat or to drink? Choose your answer now because you only have few seconds left. And the correct answer for this question is to eat. And we have 75% got the correct answer. So we have in the leaderboard, we have the number 1, Cherilyn Yamaguchi. And the second, we have Rosie T. Yosaris. Now let's move on to the second question. There are 4 main skills in English. Is it true or false? Again, there are 4 main skills in English. Is it true or false? Click your answer now because you only have few seconds left. And the correct answer is true, and 92% got the correct answer. Okay, again in our leaderboard, the number 1 is Charlene Yamaguchi. We have Nancy Barutil. And the third one, we have Rosie T. Yosores. Let's move on to the third question. What are the English language skills that bullets cover? Is it reading, listening, speaking, writing, or reading, listening, and writing? The correct answer is the first choice: reading, listening, speaking, and writing. Again, 92% get the correct answer. And we have number one on this question. We have Rosie T. Yosores. And followed by Cherilyn Calejo Yamaguchi. And followed again with Nancy Barutil. Let's move on to the next question. Writing, reading, comprehension are not skills for reading short stories. Is it true or false? Okay, the correct answer for this question is false. And 89% got the correct answer. Leading in our leaderboard, we have Nancy Barutil and followed by Cherry. Okay, the fifth question. Writing in English requires punctuation marks. Is it true or false? Click your answer now. The correct answer for this question is true. 97% get the correct answer. So the leaderboard is shown in your screen. Now let's move on to the next question. Teacher modeling is not an effective strategy for helping English language learners develop the writing skills. Is it true or false? And the correct answer is false. And 95% got the correct answer. So top one for this question, we have Cherry Ann L. Infante and followed by Nancy Barutil. Okay, the seventh question. Dictation is an example of product or controlled writing, integrating all of the skills. Is it true or false? Dictation is an example of product or controlled writing integrating all of the skills. Is it true or false? And the correct answer for this question is true. And 87% get the correct answer with Nancy Barutil as top one in our leaderboard. And followed by Charilan L. Infante. Let's have our eighth question. English is not only a language, but it's also is it a book or culture? English is not only a language, but it's also a blank. Is it a book or culture? So the correct answer for this question is a culture with 100% got the correct answer for this question with Cheryl Ann L. Infante leading in our leaderboard and followed by Jimwell C. Cigario and Emily M. Rifrigo. Okay. The ninth question, having students write in journal can help their reading and writing skills. Is it true or false? Having students write in journal can help their reading and writing skills. True or false? And the correct answer is True. And again, 100% got the correct answer. So all the participants got the correct answer, with Cheryl Ann L. Infante leading in our leaderboard and followed by Jimwell C. Sigario and Emily M. Refu- Refugio. Ref- okay, the last question. Speaking and writing are both classified as communication systems or productive language skills. Okay, the correct answer for this question is productive language skills, and 31% got the correct answer. Congratulations to all the top 10 quiz competition winner. Again, congratulations to all the winners. So let's wait for a while for let's wait for the result of our quiz competition. Okay, so we have the top 10 on this quiz competition. We have top 1, Quediniana January Cindy. Then top 2, we have Jenaline Villar Resurrection. Top 3, we have Gemaline V. Rivera. Top 4, we have Cherilyn Calejo Yamaguchi. Top 5, we have Jamyang Lamu. Top 6, we have Cheryl Ann L. Infante. Top 7, we have Emily M. Refugio. Top 8, we have Jimwell C. Sagario. Top 10, we have Nancy Barutil. And the top 10, we have Ricky R. Colima. Again, congratulations to all the winners for this quiz competition. So to other participants, better luck next time, because we still have many quiz competition. So at this point, ladies and gentlemen, please watch this short video for the Q&A. Okay, let's welcome again our speaker for today's session, Sir Christopher Armand Caguia. Welcome
Hi.
back, sir.
Yes, thank you, thank you.
Okay, let's wait for the questions flashed in your screen. Again, my dear participants, if you have questions, clarifications, just write it in the comment box. We are waiting for your questions. Let's wait, Sir Chris, for the
Yes, no
questions of our
problem.
participants.
No problem. I'll be waiting here, no, to answer your questions. Well, it seems like there's our first question, ma'am.
Okay, the first question is from Flomi Salviejo. How can we improve our English writing skills?
All right. So thank you so much, Mr. Salviejo, for your question, for the first question for this topic. All right. So just like what I've told you a while ago, no, seven C's. I've already discussed the seven C's of communication, no, writing, no, writing, and of course you can also use that in speaking. All right. So all you have to do is to remember everything that I've told you. Of course, the seven C's, the parts of a memorandum, business memorandum, which is internal communication and external communication, the seven parts of a business letter. Okay, all you have to do is to remember those things, and of course, this is the thing that I want you to remember. Always put respect first. All right, because when you respect someone, all right, you will be considering every aspects of your of aspects in the world. You will be considering everything, right? Because if you truly respect the person that you are talking to, you will be considering how they feel, what would they feel, no, what would be their response on your message. So everything that I've told you a while ago, you remember those things, then of course, now always respect the person that you are writing to. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. And we have the second question from Mom Isabel Sata. Sir Christopher Cardia, I have a question. What if you applied to a job and they emailed you a confirmation of your ap- application? Does that need for a reply of noted or not? Is not replying considered rude?
Yes. All right. So, thank you, Miss Isabel Zata, for your question, and I do believe that you've experienced this one, no? So, to give you no an insight on what you should be the doing, no, if ever that you will be applying for a position through email, no, then they've told you, okay, the situation is you applied to a job and they emailed you a confirmation of your application. Okay, you should respond to their confirmation by but you don't need to reply as simple as noted, no. You give them the proper respect, no, again, no, be courteous, no, though. So if they will be giving you a confirmation, you reply, thank you so much for your confirmation, I am hoping for a favorable response regarding my application, thank you. And then after that, you just wait for their for their final confirmation. Most likely they will be giving you your schedule, the date of your interview, either face to face or through Zoom or Google Meet. So all you have to do is to of course reply to their confirmation, okay, with all due respect to the position of the person giving the confirmation to you.
Okay. We have our third question from Mom Crystal Ives Cruz. Is using last name to address others either by letter or not are for all? Or if two of you are professional, you may address either by name or last name?
Is it using last name to address others? Okay, just like what I've told you a while ago, no? If you're going to create a formal, no, formal letter, you need to address them by their surnames. Now, just like what I've given you a while ago, that let's say this is the situation. I am a faculty member, no, of a specific institution, and then my dean. no, the dean of the college wherein I work, the department where I work, is my childhood friend, no, and then his name is Mr. Kevin Cruz. All right, so I will not call him Kevin, no, because this is professional. All right, always put in your mind that you are all professionals, and being professional is very vital in the academe. So you need to address them by their surnames, no? Even if you are in the same level, even if you are you are both deans, Mr. Kagia, Mr. Santos, no, you don't call them Kevin, come to my office. No, even if you're on the same level, Mr. Santos, may I invite you to visit me in my office. So always remember to be formal. Always keep in mind that you are all professionals.
Okay, very well said, Sir Chris. Okay, next question is from Mom Jumali Dupat Ifudulahi. Thanks, thanks you a lot, lecturer and coordinator, for your crucial training. My question is, what is courses in 7 Cs? I
All
don't
right.
get it. Thank you again.
All right. So thank you so much. Sorry, as much as I would like to address you, no, on your surname. Sorry, I cannot read it. But thank you for your question, no, for your this clarification. Well, when you say courteous, all right, you are putting yourself in their shoe. You are putting yourself in their situation. So if you are in their situation and you want to get the respect that you deserve, all right, you do the same. For example, you don't want to be called Chris, right? Formally, okay? If this is a formal communication, you don't want to be addressed Chris. So technically, you address them also the way you want to be addressed. Just like the question a while ago, can we use the first name? No, I strongly recommend you use the surname, because if you're going to be called, let's say you will be called by your first name, then the person that called you using your first name is your subordinate. Okay, you as the president of the institution will be called by your maintenance, no, using your first name. Okay, so you are the president, sir. Let's say he will be calling me Christopher, come to my office, and I'm the president. So how would you feel? All right, so technically, if you want to show courteousness, you give the same. Okay, be courteous enough to choose the proper address, no, proper salutation to someone. And also, additionally, in English language, it is very difficult to show respect, because in the Philippines we have these words such as po and opo. And if you use po and opo in the Philippines, it will show it will show respect, no? Courteousness to the person that you're talking to. Now, in English language, we don't have those po and opo. So technically, you choose the proper words, you choose the right words, no, for you to be able to be understood clearly, and for you to be able to show your courteousness to the person that you are talking to.
Okay, thank you, sir. Another question from Facebook user, Sir Christopher. Can one-way communication be effective?
All right, so just like what I've told you a while ago, communication is a two-way process. All right, and let's put it this way. If you are going to apply for a for a position in a specific company, just like the question a while ago, you submitted your resume, you submitted your application letter, you submitted all the credentials that you have, then they will not be replying to you. So what will happen to you? Okay, is it effective for you? So yeah, with that you can answer the question. So this is not that effective, because you are left hanging. No, you are left hanging. No, you are left alone. No, the task is given to you to answer your own question. So technically, it is highly no recommended to have no that it is highly recommended that communication must be a two-way process.
Okay. So another question from Mom Crystal Ives Cruz. I learned from my proof in college that if you are below his or her level, never address them by name, but if you are both in the same level, you may.
Well, actually, this is relevant to the question a while ago, no? As your speaker for this afternoon, for this day, as the resource speaker, I highly discourage you to use to address no the person that you're talking to using your first name, even though you are in the same position. Just like my example a while ago, if Miss let's say Miss Santos, no, or let's say our MC for today is a dean, no, is a dean, and Sir Chris is also a dean. If I'm going to call her by her nickname, let's say um Miss J, no, Miss J, come to my office, it's very informal. No, we are both deans, no, so we are in the professional world, we are in the academe. Always remember to be professional. And when you say professional, you always choose the right words. No, you always choose the right salutation for everyone. So I highly recommend you to use not the proper salutation, which is you address them by their surnames. Okay, so that's my suggestion to avoid no any miscommunication, because addressing someone in their first names no might give a confusion about your courteousness to them. No, thank you.
Okay, sir. Another question for Sir James Sagario. What is your say regarding using Grammarly in improved writing outputs? Do you recommend it?
So technically, there's no bad thing in checking your work, and that's what I've told you a while ago. Before you send your emails, you need to make sure to check it properly. To check it if the letter that you will be sending to someone is already correct or not. Now, if technically you are having doubts, if technically you are having difficulties in knowing if your letter is good enough to be sent to someone, or it is already in a proper way, or technically if the grammar of the letter that you will be sending to someone is already correct. If you're having difficulties, it's fine to consult no Grammarly. Technically, that's like an online dictionary. We have your you have your dictionaries with you, right? And the dictionaries can give you the proper words. No, we have the thesaurus, right? So technically it is recommended, but of course no, always remember to be original, always remember not to put your personal touch in your letter. So if the Grammarly just technically, don't let no technology replace all your work. Don't let technology devour each and every one of us. No, you have your own minds, you have your own brilliant minds, no, that needs to be used no in any way possible. But again, there's no bad thing in consulting no online platforms such as Grammarly, and of course you have your dictionaries with you.
Okay, once again, thank you so much, Sir Christopher Armand El Kagia, for sharing your knowledge today and valuable time. Thank you so much. We are very lucky to have you, sir, in today's session. And we learned a lot from you, especially with the 7 C's in communication and the importance of internal and external communication. Thank you so much once again, Sir Chris. So at this juncture, let's watch a short video for our certification process. So here is the certificate certificate code for this session. We have IGP 3872. So, ladies and gentlemen, please support IGP and recommend IGP to all your friends and community. Thank you so much for watching in this webinar. Please spread the information to your friends once again and community. To all knowledge seekers, thank you so much for attending this webinar and for your active participation. And please support us by sharing and mentioning your friends and community. To all students who are with us, please continue to seek knowledge to hone your skills and abilities. Please continue to support once again with IGP, and to all teachers and professors who are present today. I am hoping that our topic today adds more knowledge to you all. Once again, thank you so much for having with us tonight today, and hopefully see you soon in this evening session. Once again, this is Juliet Delatorre, your host for the day today from Philippines.